Men do not fall in love with your character or your personality at first. They will never. Men's brains are in their cocks. Are you stupid?
Alright, gentlemen, so for today's video we have Beelzebub making an appearance, as he has already possessed this woman's body, and she's going to be explaining to us how men operate. But gentlemen, in case you didn't know, Beelzebub is the demon that stands for gluttony, because this woman is fat, was the punchline. There's so much subtle humor in this channel, gentlemen, so if you appreciate it and you enjoy it, please like and subscribe. But now, let's go back to our demon-possessed woman and see what she has to say.
Are you stupid? Yes, you are. You're a dumb shit. And the only way that your man would ever fall in love with your personality first, if he was an ugly piece of shit. Okay, if he's ugly and doesn't have any options, then he'll go for any person he can because he doesn't have a choice. It's called nature. Okay, men's brains are in their penises. Okay, men do not fall in love. This is the worst eyeliner. I'm going to flip the fuck out.
I mean, have you ever considered that maybe this personality you carry around is the reason why it's impossible to love you with our brain? I mean, if you ask me, it's impossible to love you even with my cock, yeah? Even that is impossible. You are extremely unpleasant to the point where I can barely stand you. But let's not even talk about the mental love, guys, with this personality. Get out of here.
It made me ugly. This is thick. Men will fall in love with your appearance first. They are males, okay? They're not going to go... Do you think they're going to be attracted to someone ugly and fat? No, they will never be, okay?
Talking from experience, apparently.
They might be because they think you're easy. That's the truth, and they don't want to put a lot of effort because whatever. But I'm talking about generally. Men fall in love with how you look first.
I mean, not that you will know, gentlemen. But yeah, I mean, the truth is, this one is an extreme example, but the truth is, most women simply, you cannot love them for anything more. Looks is the only thing that they can potentially provide, as is the case with this woman. But guys, let's leave her there to stew in her rage, and let's move on to... Oh, shut up, please. Stupid TikTok, guys, I hate it. Let's move on to this woman that is also going to explain to us about men. As we have a comment here, every girl is saying something different about men. Who do I believe? Do men even like women? And this woman is going to explain it. Let's have a listen.
Okay, I'm going to reply to this comment because I get messages like this every day. We don't know what to believe. Do men even like women? How are we supposed to exist with them? Okay. So, men like pleasure, okay? Men like pleasure. They only like women because of what women do for them. It is as simple as that, okay? If you took pleasure out of the equation, men wouldn't like you because men do not respect women. They do not care for a woman's opinion or view or anything. Like, you don't believe me? Speak to men.
I mean, guys, not all women, but most women just have such stupid opinions. It's not about men or women. I don't respect a lot of men because they have stupid opinions. There are just more men who have good takes. While for women, again, not all, but the majority just have such dumb takes. Like this one right here, that men only love women on a superficial level. That is so untrue. Again, they're talking from experience because they just date the bad boys. But you as a man, you damn well know that that's not the case. If one gender is superficial, that is women. They are the ones who date you only if you are taller, only if you are richer, and only if you are more handsome. Men don't usually require none of those three things. Men like women who are shorter, but they wouldn't, you know, you never see a man saying, she's too short, or she's too tall, I don't like her. They just don't care about that. They don't care about many things, to be honest. Men just want a companion. Women don't want a companion, so they are the superficial ones. So starting off right, you mentioned one point, and it's already a bad one.
Like, listening to their conversations, sometimes you will hear men being so horrible about women. They're like, oh, I can't be bothered to listen to her. Yeah, my wife does my head in. Like, they really do not like being around women. Most men are just settling. Most men are just doing what they need to do to get by with that woman. I'm not saying that so you think, okay, we can't coexist with men, because absolutely you can coexist with men. However, you need to practice detachment. You need to practice loving detachment, and this is why we teach these things. This is why every woman needs to go on this journey. Every woman needs to find her voice. Every woman needs to realize that it is okay to be selfish.
Isn't that good advice, Jill? It's my fucking hell. How can you honestly have that opinion? It's just bullshit. It's what it is. And man, I'm so pissed with, you have young women like the one writing this comment. I want to understand man. She's young and green and naive, and you have this literal witch over here giving the advice of, oh, you have to detach, you have to love your man less, and you have to be more selfish. It's just like Satan, guys. I feel like if Satan were to give some advice to try to break up the most amount of humans possible, that's the dating advice that he will give. My hell.
So sorry that everyone told you you couldn't be selfish. You know, you grew up thinking that you owe this world something, right? You owe men your softness, your feminine energy, your nurturing energy. You don't owe anyone anything.
Yeah, those three things you just mentioned, if you give those three things, nurturing, feminine, and what was the other thing? I forgot already. But those three things, if you give them to the proper man, he's not going to leave you ever. He's going to fight an army just to be with you. It's that easy. You women, you don't have to be tall, earn money, be competitive. You just have to, focus on your personality and raise a good person out of yourself. It's all you have to do, sister. You don't have to do nothing more. And like 90% of women don't make the cut.
You do not owe anyone anything. I need you to unlearn all of that stuff that they taught you. No. You don't need to be accommodating all the time. You don't need to be sweet and nice all the time. No, I need you to unlearn all of that. You need to put yourself on a pedestal. That is the only way that you will ever live a happy, fulfilling life with men. When you love yourself, when you put yourself on a pedestal, when you pour into you. Why? Because the more you pour into you, the more he pours into you. Okay?
No, it's just simply not true. And I recently read a story, guys. It was like some article saying how, the key to control a man as a woman is to be humble and, and to love him. And it's true. You've probably seen it in real life. Women who tend to be, like competitive, not, but, aggressive and fighting all the time, competing with you all the time. It just forces men into this position of constantly having to argue, because we don't want to step back and be your little puppy on a leash. We don't want to do that. The men who want to be masculine in their masculine energy, let me frame it that way. The men who want to be the leaders of their relationship, they don't want to feel emasculated. And you're forcing men to do that when you constantly start arguments and you act, aggressive and all those things. The real way to control a man is just be humble, right? Just be innocent and pure. And he's gonna love you so much that without you having to tell him something, he'll just do it. He'll just be nice for you, nice to you, and will do nice things for you simply because he loves you. You don't have to force his hand, all right? You don't have to wage a war so he loves you. If you simply are a nice woman, he already will. These women will be surprised as to how many men and how much they will give for them if they were simply feminine, all right? And I'm sure, guys, you've seen this in real life. I'm sure you've met couples in which the woman is not all the time fighting her husband, and he just does everything for her simply out of love. But of course, this woman will never get it because she doesn't have an ounce of femininity in her body.
The more you put yourself on a pedestal, the more he puts you on a pedestal, and you become the woman of his dreams. You become the woman that he just can't quite figure out. Men are used to women being giving, Men are used to women being emotionally driven. Men are used to women being selfless. Okay?
No, I can definitely tell you I'm not used to that. In fact, I'm so not used to that that the women that are good dating options, I can count them on the fingers I have in one hand, alright? Throughout my whole effing life, 4,000 years, the good women I've seen, I can count them with one hand, right? No, we're not used to selfless women who put their husbands first.
Men are used to women sacrificing everything that they know just to keep a man happy, okay? They're used to this. So flip the script. Shock him.
Well, are you used to it, guys? Let me know down in the comments. Oh, Hidan, I'm just tired, man, of these women constantly giving me everything I want and being feminine and traditional. Man, they're flooding me. I'm just tired of them all the time.
His system, switch up and pull back your energy and claim back your power self. Nothing good ever came from a woman putting a man first. No. Those women are clinically ill. Those women are in mental institutions because men drove them to insanity. Please wake up, put yourself first, start practicing loving detachment. If you're young and you're watching this is the perfect time for you to learn this stuff. Because the worst thing is looking back on your years, on your good years, looking back on those good years and saying, oh, you know what? I wasted so much time just wanting men to love me. But then I grew up and realized they're actually not capable of loving me in the way that I want to be loved.
Yeah, so I want men to love me, and the way I manage to succeed with that is by being confrontative all the time and aggressive. Does that make any sense to you? And by being selfish. What is going on? This woman is single-handedly ruining the lives of multiple women, guys. You know, this is why I show up here. I tend to be rageful, I tend to be salty, I tend to insult. But in the end, I don't think I've given bad advice anytime, you know, never. I don't think I've been here trashing men's lives. And I've never, you know, given out advice or my opinion that is extreme. I never say do this or don't do that. I just simply want to point out the red flags for men, you know. But I will never do this thing that this woman is doing currently, which is giving advice to be on the extreme end of things, you know. At least I feel so. You let me know, guys.
They will love you in their own warped, twisted way. But if you sat there desperately waiting for these men to return back everything that you gave them, they're never going to return it. They're never going to return it. They're never, ever going to return it. They're not going to give you back a penny. You're never going to get a dime. Please put yourself first. Stop being silly. And
I mean, is that why 70% of divorces are initiated by women? Because men are incapable of loving, while women are devoted and selfless and giving it their all. Do you see that reflected in the divorce rates, gentlemen? Do you see that reflected with your friends? Because my friends, it's like 8 out of 10 men have loved a woman unconditionally, have been willing to literally pass away for her, you know, have been fighting battles and doing all those things for her. Notice how the relationships, guys, in most of the cases break up when the woman is not happy. When the man is not happy in a relationship, he simply works harder. He starts solving problems. He starts working on himself. That is what a man does when the relationship doesn't go well. What does a woman do? Leave. Like, do you see this woman's narrative reflected in your life at all? The truth of why they have this the perspective that is so flawed is, again, because they only date the bad boys, and they are surrounded by women who also date bad boys, so they simply don't know any better. They are giving their hearts to men who never cared to remember their second name, and this is why they have such a backwards understanding of things. You are to blame for it. Go talk to a real woman that has been married for 30 years, and let's see if she gives the same advice, that you have to be selfish, in a relationship.
And being stupid and sitting there thinking, no, it's fine. The more giving I am, the more kind I am, the more I show him I'm such a good woman. I'll win. Good people win in the end. Good women win in the end. I'm really sorry to tell you, but that is not true. That is not true. That is not true. Selfish women win. Selfish women are the ones who get what they want in this life. The nice girl, no. She gets forgotten. She gets treated like a slave. She's always left depleted because that man never ever sees her value. So, do men even like women? I think you know the answer.
I mean, yeah, according to your experience, I do know the answer. I sort of understand why this woman is hurt. I really do, to be honest. But again, you just cannot realize that she has put herself in this place. She simply doesn't understand that the men that she can have those bad experiences with are a minority. And that the majority of men will love her in an incredible way, you know, unconditionally, guys. But they simply don't get it because those men are invisible for them. But now, let's move on to article story, guys. How do some men do it? I, 27 male, have a non-existent dating S3X life. Meanwhile, two of my good friends, both average looking as well, are often dating, hooking on a regular basis. We all spend a lot of time in the same small town pub, meaning that they aren't meeting women the old-fashioned way. One of them works from home all alone. He is therefore not meeting women through work. I understand that confidence, charisma, charm, looks, social skills, etc. are all important, yet I don't understand how they just stumble into relationships as easy as they do, when the opportunities don't seem to exist. I've seen their online dating accounts and they don't receive many matches, so it's also not from old. I know what this stands for. How the hell do they do it? Well, gentlemen, in this day and age, as you know, men just cast a wide net and see what they stumble. There are many women out there. You're probably not going to succeed with 95% of them. Just, you know, what men do is just throw a big ass net and whatever comes our way, you know? But again, it's not my advice, guys. It's not what personally I do. And I think that the real men who are winners, the real men who are strong, they are not the ones who hook up a lot, right? For me, that's not a winner. For me, guys, a winner, a man who has won, is a man who, in fact, does not sleep around a lot. But not because of a lack of options, but because he simply understands that that doesn't bring any value to him, you know? I will even say that it's easy to hook up with a lot of women. Of course, you have to have the looks to back you up and the height to back you up. But if you do, it's easy to sleep with women. In fact, it's the easiest it's ever been, right? Women are throwing themselves at the dudes that they like. So in that aspect, it's the easiest it's ever been. And in that way, for me, a man with real strength is not a man who can pull a lot of 304s, but it's a man who has the self-respect to choose something better for him, right? All these 304s, all these hookups, I don't think, excuse me, guys, I don't think you should value them. You know, I don't think you should be jealous of the people that have them because they bring nothing good for you. They really don't. And I think these experiences are emasculating, you know, just hooking up with all those 304s. I don't think that's good for a man. But gentlemen, let me know what you think. Now let's move on to our last article. Girls I date seem to lose interest after 1 to 3 months. It's taken a toll on my confidence. I've noticed a pattern over the last 12 months with 2-3 girls I've dated. One was mutual. We usually see each other for 1 to 3 months, go on proper date nights, dinners, bowling, drinking, or just hanging at each other's places and sleep together regularly. But in the end, it often ends with them saying something like, I don't feel it. How many of you guys can, relate to that? Because we have the woman on the last TikTok saying how, Women are so selfless, just all the time, giving to men, just so devout. My hell, they are angels. I don't see that reflected in life. I just don't. Every second fucking man has gone through a relationship where the other person leaves because, but I don't feel it. The spark is not there. Why are you trying to lie? Women are superficial. Women don't give a shit about you. Women never loved you because of who you are and your personality. Their love, for most women, is simply conditional in regards to what you bring to them at that specific moment. And the moment you stop bringing, they no longer feel it. And they turn their backs. They simply don't care about you. They don't care. They forget about the men that they are dating in 2 or 3 days. If they're not hooking up with someone else already on the first day, alright? It's what I'm seeing around the world, right? So, yeah. I'm starting to wonder if it's my looks, personality, or some combination of both. I'm in my late 20s, 26, and I date girls around my age, mainly through dating apps where I do okay. I get matches and dates fairly often, but when girls lose interest, it makes me insecure about where they were really attracted to me in the first place. So you have here an example of what I just told you guys. Getting many matches, going on many dates, even sleeping with a lot of women, it won't bring anything good in your life. I mean, best case scenario, they never leave you. You are the one that leaves them. This is if you are a 9 or 10 out of 10 guy. That is the best case scenario in which you just use women for recreational purposes all the time. They are always throwing themselves at you and you just always leave them. But even in that scenario, you're still wasting a lot of time for women that you could be investing in things that build you up. And these women will never be able to provide you with anything more than just their bodies. To make things harder, I think I might have some attachment issues. When I like a girl and she seems to like me back, I get pretty attached, especially after we've slept together and spent time cuddling. I sometimes force myself to avoid being needy by double texting and instant replies. I never do it. This is starting to take a toll on my confidence in both my personality and how I look. I don't know if I'm overthinking things or if there's something I should work on. I'd appreciate any advice on how to approach these situations better, how to feel more secure in myself while dating. My advice is stop dating multiple women, stop going out with them, wait for the one, and if she doesn't appear, stay single forever. This whole thing of dating multiple people, I don't know when people will realize. I've never seen a person that has dated around a lot and has made something good out of it. You know, I never see that, guys. What I see is people getting broken because of dating multiple, both men and women. People getting broken, devaluing themselves, devaluing love altogether, ending up more confused than before. All bad things, all bad things. So my advice, just don't engage in this degeneracy. But gentlemen, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below, guys, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.